Hey YouTube, it's your girl EZserenity back again doing another reply vid. This time to a video by darkonesunone titled "Can a Black Man Ever Be Loved for Who He Is?" And I just wanted to start by saying, I'm sorry that you felt the way that you did and still do, I'm sure. And there is a reason for it, and also a possible solution. Now to quickly answer your question, both humbly and honestly, I think the answer is yes. Now, what you described in your vid is, it's called oppression. And the way you feel as a result of that oppression is what you have internalized. And the way you act as a result of the way you feel is the manifestation of that internalized oppression. And it all goes back to one thing. And that one thing is stereotypes. Think about it. What is your stereotype? And it was exactly what you were referring to in your vid, and I'll add some to it myself. Big thugs with big cars and, expensive things, and, drug takers, drug dealers, good for not much, and gang banging pimps type, to say the least. And then stereotypes are ignorantly applied to the whole group despite its untruth. And but at the end of the day, all stereotypes have a little bit of truth to them, and that's what makes them stereotypes, and that's what makes them, that's what makes them so strong. And that's why all members reap the benefits or the disadvantages of them. I'll use your example of the smart Asian man. It would be untrue to say that all Asian men are smart. That's just not true. But it would be true, or more true, to say that some or even many Asian men are smart. And again, ignorantly so, Asian men as a group have this stereotype applied to them. And for the most part, it's a good stereotype to have. I mean, they're thought of as smart people. Who wouldn't want that? But believe it or not, there is a disadvantage to it, but that's another subject, another vid. So I'll talk next about the nerdy white guy. It's untrue to say that all white men are nerds. That's just not true. But it is more true to say that some white men are nerds. And I'll even go as far as to say those few white nerdy men out there, they're the ones making the big bucks and signing most of our paychecks. But nevertheless, another seemingly good stereotype to have, but there are disadvantages to having that stereotype as well. And then we come to your stereotype, the black man stereotype, and just like the other ones, it fits some, but it doesn't fit all. But despite the fact that it doesn't fit all, everyone in that group still gets that label. And unlike the other stereotypes I just mentioned, there really isn't anything good to be reaped from that. I mean, you're damned if you do. You do act like the stereotype because it's a shitty stereotype, and you're damned if you don't, because then you're marginalized not only by your own kind but by others as well. So, what can I say? We just got the short end of that stick. But you were also talking about how we need to be twice as good, and even still, being twice as good only equals out us being equal. Never better than, or rarely equal to. And we're always under someone's microscope, so you might as well, stop fighting the battle. No, I'm just joking. Don't stop fighting. Yeah, you also asked why the worst men profit the most. Why the worst men profit the most? And I thought that was an interesting question, and I'm going to attempt to answer it by letting you in on a woman's perspective. And I'm going to talk about the colored woman's internalized oppression. So what happens is, you said something about women giving their love to the wrong guys. And believe it or not, contrary to women's own beliefs, there's a lot of us out there that have really low self-esteem. So what happens then is we find ourselves in these awful relationships with these awful men, and because our self-esteem is so low, we don't think we deserve better, so we stay in that relationship. The second part to that is, if we do find ourselves with a good man, we sabotage that relationship again because we think so little of ourselves. We just don't think we deserve to be treated well, so we screw it up and then probably find ourselves back with that awful guy again. It's a really messed up mindset, but a lot of us women, again, contrary to what we believe, that's how we think, and we don't even know it, and that's what's really scary. Yeah, it has very little to do with the men, the good men or the bad men. It's just the women who have such crappy self-esteem. Now, back to the original question. I think it's seemingly impossible for us to love each other for who we are because of all this internalized oppression. We don't even know who we are ourselves. So it's like, how can I ask you to love me for who I am when I don't even know who I am myself? It makes no sense. Now, it's a vicious cycle that we are stuck in, and for whatever reason, we can't seem to get out of. Again, because of internalized oppression. You asked, can a black man ever be loved for who he is? And I said the answer is yes, so long as he knows who he is and is who he is, and he finds a woman who knows who she is and is who she is. Otherwise, what ends up happening is the colored man acts ghetto because he thinks he has to, and the colored woman gives her love to the ghetto man because she thinks she's not good enough to have anything better than the ghetto man. Like it's that negative cycle that doesn't have to be that way. Why can't it be the man acts proper, not because he has to, but because that's how humans should act, and he finds this woman who gives her love to him because she loves herself enough to know that she does deserve the love of this proper man. She does deserve to be treated properly. Why can't it be like that? Now, I think Dark One, Sun One you need to stop being angry and depressed, and you need to learn how to deal with your hurt, because that's what you've been. You've been hurt, and you need to learn how to deal with that constructively. And I think everyone that's living their stereotype, regardless of who you are, if you're living your stereotypes, you need to stop. You need to be real. You need to stop acting fake. You gotta stop being this constant actor and just be proper human. And when that happens, you'll see that this will no longer be an issue. That's all for now. It's your girl, Easy, saying be easy. Peace.